Because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this.
This is kvci.blogspot.com. While over to a friend's house, I noticed that they were playing a video that I started. And this was before I received a trespass warning. And so I wanted to share that with you so you can find out a little bit more about what I've been going through. Today is another day. As I see here on the streets of Valdosta, we know that there's a graduation today at Lowndes County High School. As you can see, the Kendrick Johnson's family are standing once again demanding justice and full disclosure of all the records that are held, that are available at this stage of the investigation. At this point, I had absolutely any knowledge that I would later be accosted by a Lowndes County Deputy Thomas. I had no idea that I had been under a criminal trespass warning for 2 weeks. Listen, please. Of the death of their son. This will be an interesting day, I would assure you. Join me as I keep you informed, live while on the streets here in Valdosta, Georgia. Once again, I just noticed there's a strange thing happening here. People are going into Lowndes County High School for the graduation. And as I look at the cars, I have just noticed that more white people are giving thumbs up than black people. It is as if though they are afraid to just give support. I'm sure they probably support it, but it's amazing to me. I don't know if you all know it, but I just noticed that. And I find that to be very strange. And I just want to pass that on to you because once again, you have a right to know. And once again, it proves that what Professor Matthew Richards highlighted in a video years ago entitled A Chorus of Fear. If you notice, Kenneth Johnson here is the father of Kendrick Johnson, his wife Jacqueline, bear witness that black folk here in Valdosta were so scared when we were standing there, they wouldn't even turn to say we support you or to give thumbs up. It was mostly white people that do that. It was as if those black folks, as Reverend Rose have said many times, the black folks here are so scared. And this includes the ministers of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And perhaps this is why we don't find many pastors involved in any civil and human and women's rights organizations here in the city outside of the four walls of their church. Let's continue. These were individuals just walking. But listen, this is the officer, Deputy Thomas, that told me I was under a 2-week warning by West Taylor. Listen, I have just been informed by the sheriff that is behind me to my right. Please understand, at this time I had absolutely no idea that the sheriff department, West Taylor, or anybody had issued such a criminal trespass warning. This means that I could have gone on any area of this property and I could have been taken to the Lowndes County Jail and possibly been, who knows, one of the victims since we've had 31 jail deaths from 1994 to 2009 and from 2009 to 2013. We don't know how many people have died out there. And the strange thing about it, no elected official in the state of Georgia nor in the federal government seems to be interested in all these lives that have lost. A little town like Valdosta and Lowndes County are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths. And yet the people here sit and cry for justice as if though we're in Russia, China, or some other third world country, while nobody will even publish it in the newspaper about all these deaths. That means these sons of some mother and father have not received justice. Others don't even know where their children died at. And nobody seems to care. And that is under our form of government, not in 1618, but in 2013. Let's continue. I was informed that our trespass warrant has been issued against me here in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia, not to enter any area of Lowndes County High School property. This came as a complete shock to me, based upon what I just been told by this deputy, that I could have been arrested at any time. I was out there on property a few days ago, putting up a podium. I went out there with Eddie Tooley, who is the grandfather of Kendrick Johnson. It seems to me that there's a great possibility, regardless of how the second autopsy come back. But I can only ask a question. Was I banned because they thought some of the students might talk to me and they know that I would report it, unlike some others? Well, that's very interesting. But let us continue. But in the end, truth and right will eventually win. Get on the property not knowing that a warrant had been issued or banning me from Lowndes County High School here in the state of Georgia and in the United States of America. I have never violated any law here in Valdosta and Lowndes County that is recorded in record that I am aware of. And so I called the Justice League, Bobby Worthy, to inform him of what has happened. This is a continuous practice. This is about the fourth time that I've had problem with law enforcement. The Lowndes County Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Prime. We must make documentation that I, George Foster Rhymes, have violated no law in Lowndes County. To bear witness with that, I went to the magistrate court. They had nothing. They was amazed that I was even issued such a warning. I went to the Superior Court here in Lowndes County. They too were amazed that nothing had been served on me, yet my rights had been violated or restricted. I then went to the District Attorney office, David Miller. I do mean the District Attorney David Miller's office. They ended up calling the Sheriff Department. The Sheriff Department say they did have something on me in their computers. When I went out there to talk to the CID, the Criminal Investigation Department, Stride said that there was nothing in their computers on me. I left there and went to the U.S. District Court. They had nothing on me. I insisted that they run my name. They ran my name and there was nothing on me. Then they told me I need to go talk to the sheriff. I went and talked to the sheriff. The sheriff told me that he was going to get back with me. Well, I'm in my 75th day of this restriction, this violation, this disgraceful acts, and yet I have yet to receive a response from the Lowndes County Sheriff, Sheriff Prime. Let's continue. Yet I have been issued a warrant not to go on Lowndes County taxpaying property, wherein there was a public meeting this morning, I was told, that there was a Board of Education meeting on this area. This alleged meeting is not my creation. Reverend Rose tried to get into this meeting. Lee Henderson thought there was a meeting, and other citizens thought there would be a Lowndes County Board of Directors education meeting, but I don't know whether it materialized. It was supposed to be in the old field house. Be that as it may, as I was going to that, I definitely was denied the right to go to that meeting. I was also denied to go to the graduation of 2013, and nobody can correct that. Let us continue on the basis of truth. The old field house, in the old field house. So I believe there's a great possibility that my constitutional rights have been denied. Again, I did not violate any law, yet they say that a warrant have been issued banning me from any area of Lowndes County High School. If I had a relative, which I do have some people that graduate today, I can't even go to the graduation to little Terry because I have been banned from this school by a warrant that I knew absolutely nothing about. Thank God I didn't go to this graduation because I would have been arrested according to this deputy right here. Once again, I am George Boston Rise. And I do hope that C.B. King, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the Department of Justice, Eric Holder, and others will understand what the people here in South Georgia are going through while they ignore us. If this is happening... This is the mother of my grandson. Once again, this is the mother
and it
of
was
my grandson.
A disgraceful act by denying me my right to attend a 2013 graduation.
All right, now they denied me the right
listen,
to
listen,
go
please.
and watch the graduation of someone, the mother that produced my grandson. Now this is getting very personal. I have been given and issued a trespass warning not to enter this property. So I cannot go to this graduation. Now, come here, brother. This is my grandson, this is my family. This thing hit these nuts. And I want Miss Suzanne Buchanan of the Department of Justice to understand that something is seriously wrong in Lowndes County.
Now, we have highlighted this for decades to the Department of Justice, so this is nothing new. We've told them of the inhumane condition. The Honorable Judge Hugh Lawson found 60 to 105 violations in June of 1997. And yet the people here seems as if though, or we believe, that there is something wrong from our community up to Washington, D.C. in terms of why nobody can come in, let the people of our community know what's going on, yet we send our sons and daughters to fight these damn wars across this nation, yet our rights are going to hell. And I do mean going to hell in a handbasket, while our elected officials, the Lowndes County Sheriff Department, the county commissioners, the city council members, those in Georgia General Assembly, the Congress, it seems as if though we are in some third world communist nation wherein our elected officials apparently don't give a damn about the citizens here in the United States of America. Let us continue, please. The truth must be told if we are to be known as a nation of laws around the world. Listen, please.
In the state of Georgia, and this is what I've been talking about. Now here I am, a retired military veteran with over 20 years in the United States Armed Forces, fighting for the rights of foreigners, only to come home to be restricted from going to a graduation here in Lowndes County, and I'm mad as hell about it.
And even more mad that the Valdosta Daily Times, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, Fox News, and other news in this media outlets in this community not once have done a story to my knowledge about my constitutional rights, me being banned from a public meeting in the state of Georgia. I haven't heard nothing from the Georgia Attorney General, nothing from the governor of the state of Georgia, nothing from a single elected official in our community outside of Dexter Sharper. It is as if though people have in our community here in the state of Georgia are living in the 1930s or even before that. And I don't believe any black person or white right person should send their sons and daughters to fight these wars in any foreign land until they straighten out what's going on here in the homeland of the United States of America. Let us continue.
I could have died in Vietnam. I could have died in Kuwait and other places. And so they just have to be passing by. And I just want everybody to know, this is serious. It's not about just Kendrick Johnson no more. It's about all of these people in Valdosta and Lowndes County that have been treated like this. And the Justice Department, the governor of the state of Georgia, the president of the United States, the Congress, the Senate, we need help.
Are we not a nation of laws? Are we not a state of laws? Are we not a city of laws? Are we not a county of laws in 2013? Then what's going on here? Where are our civil rights leaders? Where are the constitutional experts? Where are the attorneys that take up such? If President Barack Obama had denied Hannity or Riley or Sean, or any of those people their rights, Would not somebody say something? So what's wrong? Why can't somebody stand up? Not to mention, it's not just about me. What about the 14-year-old lady who had a 14-year-old daughter handcuffed, and she went to all the news media? They wouldn't report it. It's like it's a lockdown. It's like we in Russia. How could it be that all these things that are newsworthy are not reported to the general public? I can give you incident after incident after incident. I encourage you to go to kvci.blogspot.com, or better yet, just Google Valdosta Whiteout news media outlets and get the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. But I'm telling you, it is time for a change. And I am 100% sure that eventually the active duty people at Moody Air Force Base and our students at Valdosta State University, at Georgia Military College, and Wiregrass Technical College, and these scared deaf Negroes and religious leaders will eventually wake up from the spell of the Leviathan. And when they wake up, we are going to make a difference here in South Georgia, because it is indeed time for our youth to start breathing and actually follow what is written and what they are studying in civics lesson. Listen, please.
On here. What are y'all waiting on? Where is Jesse Jackson? Where is Al Sharpton? Praise the Lord. We need help down here. Hallelujah. Where Congress Maxine Waters, I'm appealing unto the world to come to Valdosta, Georgia. What's wrong with y'all? Don't y'all know we catching hell down here? I have violated no law. I am an upright individual. You can't say that I'm running around with extra women. You can't say that I'm doing drugs. You can't say that I am gay. You can't say none of that junk.
And so the story goes. Who cares about the American people? They want us to care more about the people in Afghanistan, the people in Iraq, the people in Iran, the people in Palestine and Israel, and occupied territories. Yeah, they want us to care more about them than we care about our own mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers. And in my most humble opinion, I do believe that it is indeed time for a change. Change for what? It's change for the people of America to wake up. We got to get a voice. And can you imagine everything that I have been through? Not a single pastor have said anything in my support. Only one civil rights person have said anything in strength, and that is Reverend John H. Robinson, who attends Antioch Baptist Church. Other than that, it is as if though I have to walk alone. And yet I'm standing and have been standing since 1975 for the good of my people. Yet when something happens to me such as this, it seems as if though we are just fighting an unending battle. But I'm here to say to you that in the end, truth and right will win. Now let's listen to this pastor, the only one that have said anything, the only minister that have stood up and said anything in my defense. Listen, please.
My granddaughter went to a graduation this morning, and we wanted Troy Paulson Ryan to be there to do the recording. And we come to find out that he was denied access to the children in the school. We find that very discouraging. It's very disgraceful. Here we are, free people in a free society, and here's a man because he's standing up for justice in this city. He's getting discriminated against. He's being retaliated against because of no legitimate reason. And the school board have no right to what they have done. This is a disgrace. And they should be ashamed of themselves what they've done. This man haven't violated no law, but yet his rights was violated this morning. And we are sick and tired of it. We need some justice here. And
yes, we have been crying out for justice. We have gone to everybody we know, including Eric Holder. They have copies of the Chorus of Fear when the death of Willie James Williams happened. They have so much information, yet they have turned their face away from Valdosta and Lowndes County as far as we know. And so it seems as if though our young people, I don't know how they can look for tomorrow. I don't have no idea what our young people are going to do. Because if your government is not for you and don't help you, what other alternatives does the young people here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America have outside of violence? Protesting don't even work here. Nothing seems to work. It is as if though we are in some communist nation of the 16th or 1700s. Let us continue and wrap this up.
And we are crying out for everyone that's in the Justice Department to come down and really take a look at this when the citizens, this is Jim Crow at its best. These are the old laws that they used to work on, and they're still doing it here in Lowndes County. That's all I want. This is all that I want to have to say about this issue and this matter, because it's very, very, very disturbing when we always seem to be victimized and nobody don't want to discuss it, nobody don't want to talk about it, but because he's standing up for people and trying to help them to come about some justice and equilibrium here in this city, he have violated no one law. He didn't walk on the grass and kill the grass. He didn't go and run into nobody's car. He never exercised the right of anything. This man was just denied because they have seen him produce these videos and this kind of thing. And he's being retaliated against because he went to Atlanta to sit down with the Justice Department. And this is a form of retaliation. And I stand on his behalf to say this, that we asked him to come out to film our granddaughter this morning at a graduation. And it meant something for us to get this here on film for our family, okay? Because we are architects, engineers, and psychologists from our family. And we need these bones captured. And they denied not only him, but us as well. I close this out by saying, it's a sad day here. It's a sad day here in Lowndes County. Very, very, very disturbing. And something needs to be done.
Yes, something needs to be done. But won't nothing be done because this is the world we are living in. We are living in the last days of the reign of the wicked. This includes our black leaders. You know, it seemed like somebody would have at least called me in and say, Brother Rhymes, let's do a telephone hookup. We are concerned about the people in Valdosta. Al Sharpton came here and he left so quick that the fly didn't have time to land. We've had Reverend Jesse Jackson to come here years ago. He left before a flea could even trouble anybody, eating a can of sardines. We have had some of the greatest leaders that passed through here, but nothing changed. Everything remained the same. We have had the Department of Justice to come here, and everything remained the same. We are the home, just 18 miles away, of the week of terror in Brooks and Lowndes County, when 15 to 25 blacks were murdered outright, and nothing has been done about it. Earl Evans was shot and burned up in a police car in Brooks County, and nothing was done about it. We had Willie James Williams to die in 1998, and no justice was received in that case. We had Mr. Egerton to be murdered at WGOV radio station, and nothing has been done about it. And so when Kendrick Johnson's son died at the old gymnasium, it seems as if though God is using that, so they come after me, simply because they know I'm not going to be like the other South Georgia news media networks. And I am determined as a military veteran, with a code of conduct, when I wore a uniform, say I'm an American fighting man, prepared to give my life in the defense of my country, and that I was not permitted to give only my name, rank, and serial number. That was all if I was captured. And if I was next in the command, I would take charge and lead people even to my death, only to return home to Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia, in the United States of America, after my retirement on January the 21st, 1991, to be treated and eventually be denied the right of the land that I serve to protect, along with many other retired, disabled, and some deceased veterans, not to include those presently at Moody Air Force Base, just 9 miles north of Valdosta. And nobody in the United States of America will come to this former active duty, retired and disabled veteran. And so when you talk about you love the veterans, I say to you most humbly, you are a liar and the truth is not in you. And I'm humble in saying that, because if you love the veterans and if you love the active duty, then you would hear the cries of my cries, because my cries are for the 31 jail deaths from 1994 to 2009, and from 2009 to 2013. Many of them were retired veterans. Some was active duty veterans and some were disabled veterans, yet they have no voice here in the United States of America, and it is indeed a disgrace. So I close this out by saying thank you, Mr. John Robinson. I have worked for civil and human rights and women's rights since 1975, but I'm here to say to you that no civil rights leader have called me, not even Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, or none of them. Yet I'm carrying on the dream of Dr. King. I don't just placate, duplicate, and imitate that great man, but I'm a living testimony that his dream is alive. But the question is, who will join us in the continuation of that great man? Or will we just dip like we duplicate Jesus, imitate Moses, and placate the son of Amram and Yoshabel along with Allah or Buddha or Muhammad or any of the other great leaders that God sent to us to help us paint this way to the higher hills? I'm going to close now. The 75 days that I've been under this restriction, and nobody in the United States of America seems to give a damn about it. Just maybe somebody in the Soviet Union, just maybe somebody in China, or maybe somebody in some third world nation will say, Brother Ryan, what's going on with you? We want you to tell your story. Maybe a communist newspaper will come and interview me so I can tell the rest of the story. And when that autopsy come back on KJ's death, just maybe you will get to hear the rest of the story in terms of why I was even banned in the first place when I had violated no law, nor did I sign anything, nor was I told that you are under a criminal trespass warning and that you are banned from public property in the state of Georgia. Thank you, John Robinson, again. No civil rights leader have shown any sympathy, none whatsoever, none of them. And Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. And to all my Caucasian friends that helped me in this struggle, when black folk won't even give me a dime, I want to say thanks to the very few blacks, but a greater respect to the white people who support me and say to me, Rhymes, keep your struggle going, because it's what needed. And by the way, Tim and Shalanda, I want to thank you so much for standing strong. Shalanda and Tim, Watkins. Sean, thank you so much for the support that you have given me. I have walked with other people for years and years, but when it comes down to embrace me in this issue, well, it is as though I'm going to the cross of Calvary. And never forget that Jesus could have rode into Jerusalem on an elephant. He could have rode into Jerusalem on a zebra. After all, his father created the zebra. Jesus could have rode into the city on a horse. Jesus could have rode into the city on the back of a swine, but he didn't choose any of those. Not even a camel of the Arab world. Jesus rode into the city on the back of an ass. The back of an ass. And people consider the ass as the lowest level creature. They say he make a hellish noise. But I love the ass, and so it seems as if though I'm using the ass and ride upon, and very few people want to have anything to do. But in the final analysis, I'm here to tell you that St. John 8:32 is alive and well at this dispensation, which says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. I don't go to church as much as you. I don't go to synagogue as much as you, and I don't go to mosque or masjid as much as you. But I want to go down in history as that somebody can say he really understood the dream of Dr. King, and he didn't dip when it came down to our children and coming generations of children, regardless of the color of their skin or the pigmentation of that same skin. And so I want to say to you, I love you, I respect the righteous, but the hypocrites and the wicked that masquerade as servants of God, well, you'll have your day. You'll have your day. Bye-bye. We're gone.
And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? But us, the Daily Times, ain't going to report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this story. And I'm glad to hear that. Because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times are you know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this.
Still feeling broke. Nobody sees what I see. Nobody knows what's going on in the government. Nobody knows what's going on in the White House. The more they may change, the more things remain the same. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows how many people don't have jobs. Nobody cares how many people walking. Nobody gives a damn if you're about to lose everything you got. Nobody cares if you never own a thing.